Hello, good evening, everybody. You are welcome to today's edition of Jubilee Sports Extra. I want to trust you're having a good evening so far. My name is Emeka, and I'm going to be your host this evening. To my left and to my right, I've got some very able, reputable gentlemen who are, strong voices when it comes to the world of sports. We're going to be discussing quite interestingly a couple of current happenings as it relates to football within the continent of Europe. I'd like to encourage you to, draw closer to your watching or listening device and be a part of this discussion this evening. Feel free to comment, feel free to like, feel free to share, feel free to call in when we make the number available for the calling session. But by all means, I'm encouraging you to be a part of the show this evening. Okay? All right, let's introduce ourselves, gentlemen. To my left, I have.
My name is Sheon. As you all know, the real official Chelsea fan.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name remain Franklin, Man City fan.
All right. Fantastic. Okay. We're going to go straight into our discussions this evening. I'm just trying to bring up the first point I would like us to start from. Okay. The Premier League, the Premier League, the Premier League. As everybody will agree with me that, in these few weeks within which the league have started this season, a lot of water has gone under the bridge. Not Stamford Bridge, or maybe Stamford Bridge, but oh, all right. A lot of things have happened so far. There's been a lot of transfers, a lot of buy-ins, a lot of injuries, a lot of shocking surprises, and a lot of expected outcomes as well when it comes to the results of matches and how several teams have been faring in this current Premier League season. So we're going to kick off by looking at the table as it is as of today, the Premier League table. And we're going to just, discuss the top four, some shocking positions. Some teams that are in some shocking positions, and then we will also look at the relegation zone. And we would like to, pick the brains of our co-host this evening, Sheun and Franklin, as it concerns these various positions, whether these teams are going to stay in these positions throughout the season, or do we think some of them will be dropping, or going up the table as the case may be? All right, so let's start off by looking at the top four. Currently, sitting in the position number one is Manchester City. And number two, Manchester City is number one with 12 points out of 4 matches. That is straight win so far. In second position, we have Tottenham. Out of 4 matches, they've gathered 10 points. Liverpool in third. Out of 4 matches, Liverpool have gathered 10 points as well. West Ham in fourth. And out of 4 matches, West Ham has also gathered 10 points. It's also important I note that Arsenal is in fifth, but even though they are in fifth, they also have 10 points. So from the second position to the fifth position, they all have 10 points, except Manchester City, who is sitting at the top so far with 12 points. Whether they will be there through the season, we don't know yet, but currently that's what it is like. So, gentlemen, what do we think about the top four as it relates to the Premier League table? Do we think this is how it is going to stay? Are we seeing Man City, Tottenham, Liverpool, and West Ham making the Champions League of next season? Or are we thinking that with time, things will begin to change, whether positively or negatively, as it relates to the top four of the Premier League season? What do we think about that? Anyone can go first.
Yeah. As it takes now, we can't be discussing about the top four because I felt like it's just too early for us to talk about the top four. Because it likes teams like Arsenal cannot be in fifth position with their performer currently. Yeah, I think every one of us watched the match against Man U, and we actually see how brilliantly Arsenal were able to come out towards the end of the match. So we can't overrate Arsenal at this point because they are really playing so well, despite the fact that they despite the fact that they were unable to make they were unable to make hold the trophy last season. So, like, seeing a team like West Ham in the top four is obviously, I know it's football, it's a world of football, and this is Europe. And we basically know anything can happen at any point in time, but not like Arsenal being in number 5, and you are expecting West Ham to still go to Champions League. I know West Ham actually played a wonderful football last season. But
I think they're going for one of the European competitions.
Yeah. They won the European UEFA
Conference
Call. Yeah, I think that was the first time an English team will win it, and it was actually the first one and the first time, and first European matches they played in a very long period of time.
Yeah,
and they did brilliantly well last season. But despite that, we can't overrate them, and we cannot underrate big teams. You know what we mean by big teams?
Yeah.
Teams like Man U is still like number 10. I felt like the season is just too early.
No, Man U is on
11.
It's even on 11, right?
Yeah,
I felt like it's just too early for us to be talking about the big teams and talking about basically. And if you have been consistent on how the tables has been going for the past seasons now, like teams like Arsenal don't really pick up at the very early stage of the season. So I felt like it's just too early for us to discuss about teams like West Ham being in the top 4.
But they beat Chelsea,
Yeah, it doesn't mean beating Chelsea is too early. Beating Chelsea, okay. I felt like we are still going to that point, but that's not where we are forever presently now. So
no, we're talking about West Ham. That's why
I still talk about it.
Yeah.
And teams like Tottenham, looking at their team, I felt like they've not really played the main match they are meant to play. Tottenham has not played the likes of Man City, play like Liverpool, play Chelsea, play Arsenal. So I felt like they are still playing like all those, the middle teams, the average teams in the league. So it's very easy for them to be, gathering their point now. But when the real deal is now coming towards, that's when we can actually talk about, it's time now. Like probably the next 1 month, 2 months, then we'll be jumping into the Premiership properly. So we can actually say, okay, this is what is going on at this point. So I think it's just too early for us to talk about it anyway.
Okay,
yeah.
But okay.
Yes, what Seun said is actually true. But still remember, Bible says, do not despise the days of your little beginning. So because, coming to the top 4 or top 5, I would say that the table is not yet looking balanced. But the way they are starting their matches or the way they started the league matters.
Yeah.
Because it can encourage them to forge ahead, not to lose that fire burning. So, and again, saying that I will not underrate any team in this top 4. Because West Ham, they can come and surprise you. Newcastle, they can surprise you.
Yeah.
These are the teams that
Brighton.
These are the teams that they can just perform magic in a twinkle of an eye. So the way they started their match, it actually counts. Because in all you said, I was expecting you to highlight on Chelsea being on 12th, but I don't know. Maybe you are still reserving that.
We are coming there. Okay. Fantastic. Let me still on the top 4. Can I still ask us this question, gentlemen? I agree that it's still a bit early, but are you thinking that there is any team who are currently in the top 4 now who has the possibility of staying up there for the rest of the season?
Man City.
Man City. Why?
I said Man City because it's not as a supporter of Man City.
Okay.
if you look at their ball, because Guardiola is a one kind coach, everybody wants to play under because he has everything to improve you, to make you the best.
Okay.
If you check their formation this season, their tactics this season, they actually changed everything. Guardiola using no, it's not even Alvarez using two holding defense, two defensive midfielders, using Kovacic and Rodri together, giving them another means of attack. So and that has been working for them. And with what they have signed this season, I will say the man, he knows what he wants and he goes for what he wants, because what he has signed this season is what that can keep him on that top 4
position,
if possible, win the league for them.
Okay.
Yeah, like I want to buttress your points, and with the question you asked, is all about which of the teams in top 4 that can still
Stay there.
resist the pressure. Yeah, Man City, to be candid, I'm not a City fan, but I want to be. I want to be frank with us today. Like, City is a different kind of team. Their tactics is very different. They didn't play Premiership football. It's if you look at the way Man City football tactics is, it's just like a mix of Italian football and Spanish football.
Okay.
Now he's bringing that tradition back to England now. So I think he's making other teams difficult for them to handle them. You know, for him to have used Kovacic and Rodri at the center, at the midfield, you know, he's giving his attacks players, his strikers, his attacking forces to operate the way they want to.
You have the freedom.
And if you watch the last match, Man City, Kevin De Bruyne was not in the match, and he uses an Alvarez, and the guy was so brilliantly, he did brilliantly well, had an assist. I think he had a goal as well. So he doesn't have a goal, but I think he has like 2 assists with Alan. So like the kind of football Man City is playing is totally different from the proper English football.
Yeah.
So he's making it difficult for other teams to just come and
Understand their game.
Yeah, understand their game. And Guardiola is a kind of coach that I think he studied the teams he wants to play with, then he knows what to do when it comes to playing the teams. So he's making it difficult for other teams to handle Guardiola, to handle Man City. And I felt like Man City as a team is a shit. Because with the likes of Alan, how will a striker just come and have an assist and 3 goals in the last season? He has started. It's a very complete shit.
And again, there's this thing Rodrigo said, pairing him with Kovacic.
Yeah.
He said that after that his goal, he said that him pairing with Kovacic at that defensive midfield is giving him more
chances to attack. See, so
and having that person attacking, thereby upholding that vacuum Gundogan left, because that guy, one thing I love about him, he focuses, and when he his aim is always accurate. He's not afraid to shoot. He's not afraid to try. And anytime he tries, that's how he did in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
That's won the league for them. So with that, and signing Doku, when they signed that guy, I said, why would they sign that guy? At least they have a Kopama, but they left him to go. They have other players, even when Mahrez left. But at the time, I saw that this man, he's a brain boss. He knows what he's doing. For him to sign that guy, he knows what he's doing, because he wants to spread his players so that he can. Because one thing about Man City, they love to create space.
Yeah.
But always that space is normally hard for them to create. So that's why he's trying to sign players that will help him to spread up the defense so that they can have a loophole to penetrate.
Okay. Fantastic. Our audience who are watching and listening to us this evening, I would like you to also make your own comments. Out of the following teams who are currently in the top 4 position, which are Man City, Tottenham, Liverpool, and West Ham, are you thinking that any of those teams will stay there for the rest of the season? Liverpool somehow haven't been very bad, in my own opinion. Tottenham as well, with their new coach and Harry Kane leaving, and they are still in second position out of 4 matches. that's not the worst of results or outcomes you would expect from a somehow average team. And West Ham, surprisingly, been very good so far this season. They are in 4th position as we speak. Are we thinking that any of those teams will retain their positions for the rest of the season? Okay, let's quickly look at the relegation zone, the jungle. Currently sitting on the 18th position is Everton, 19th is Luton, and 20th is Burnley. Everton, Luton, Burnley. So, gentlemen, are we thinking that any of these 3 teams will be going down to Championship by the end of this season? Everton, Luton, and Burnley. Personally, I didn't think Everton would be part of this discussion, but surprisingly, they've not been the best so far. They've only gotten 1 point out of 4 matches. Luton have gotten 0 points, and Burnley as well 0 points. But are we seeing any of these teams going down by the end of this season? Everton, Luton, Burnley. If yes, which of them?
Yeah, to me, I feel like Everton is not doing so well. Because if you watch, or if you look at their performance last season, they actually skipped through by just a point. You get so, narrowly escaped. It was a very narrow escaped challenge for them last season, and now this season they are not working towards it. I felt like they knew their lapses, and they still allow the lapses to still be overshadowing them. So I felt like Everton. I don't see any big deal in Everton if they relegate. I don't think they can. Because now, if you look at most of the teams like Sheffield United that just came from a relegation, Sheffield, despite the fact that they are, it's been long they've been in Premiership, and they came and they are still performing not really brilliantly well, but at least they are performing more than me as a person, more than my own personal expectation.
Yes.
So, and Luton, I'm not expecting something big from Luton, because I actually was not watching their match not until they had the playoff against Coventry FC, and it was a very fantastic match. They played nothing much well. Coventry really played them very, very well, but it was just like a match of luck against Coventry and a luck towards them. So, and I haven't seen them signing any big players so far, and I haven't seen any spectacular players among in the team. So, I don't see Luton going too far, and I feel like Everton can still go to relegation. And in case of Burnley, Burnley can be at the end of the season and just started beating everybody. That's one thing about the team. So. I felt like Burnley can still make it up, but in the case of Everton and Luton, I didn't see them going beyond the bottom table.
Okay. Yeah. So you are thinking Everton and Luton will be relegated?
I felt like that.
You feel like that as it stands now? Okay. Okay, Franklin.
For my own side, I will go with what he said because let me start with that Everton because if you check the table. Predict people that Everton can win there with their performance, you will know that they can't go far because that's how they struggled last season, but they were unable to pick up. It was just they were lucky. Let me say they were just lucky to escape relegation last season, and they started where they picked from last season, thereby not doing well. So seeing them go into relegation is not a surprising thing. It's actually because I don't know, they have not signed a reputable player that can uphold their team.
And they've sold some as well.
They sold most of their players.
Yeah, most of their big players they sold them. So
yes, I don't know. But they have not tried to replace those players they sold. So and Luton, if you check the club, you know they don't have money. They don't have money to sign good players that can stand up for the team. So you know that even if they go back to relegation, at least they have achieved something by coming to Premier League. That's their own. And Burnley is a wicked team. Sorry to say that, because Burnley they can just come and do what you are not expecting at a surprising hour. So let's just be looking at Burnley. Okay. But I feel there are some other teams that might replace some teams there in that dedication. But as Seun said, it's too early to judge.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay. So my panelists today are going for Everton and Luton to be relegated. And so far, it looks like it's only Man City that is being given the upper hand to stay in the top 4 by the end of this season. All right, let's touch on this one, which I know everybody is expecting us to touch on. The West London club called Chelsea. Chelsea FC is currently sitting in the currently sitting in the 12th position, and I would like to ask Sheun this question as it relates to Chelsea. What is going on with Chelsea Football Club? Why are they 12th, having spent nothing less than £1 billion, I was told, so far this season in recruitment, buying players? Some of the players they bought, they wrestled for them with very popular clubs, Liverpool, Man City, shook them off and bought some quality players, Caicedo, Latvia, Jackson, to name a few. And so far, so not so good. They are still 12th in the table. What is going on with Chelsea, Shen? What would you say is wrong?
To be very candid, if you have been going along with Chelsea matches, you will know the problem is not the players, neither the coach, but the problem they're having is the ability for them to blend it together.
Okay.
That is what I feel like is happening right now, because there are previous matches that I've watched, almost all the matches for this season. Chelsea have been playing so brilliantly well. Everybody that watched the match, we know what I'm talking about. But I feel like we just have to give them a bit of time. Though good and fine, we spend a lot of money. Good and fine, we're expecting a good result. Good and fine, we're expecting magic. But these people are human beings as well. You can't just expect someone who just come from a different team, meet someone from a different team and just blend like that. And if you look at all these 12, 11 players that we bought of a recent, all of them are new players. Not that we have some old players among them that came over and you blend with them, excluding teams, someone like James and I think it's only James that was actually that's actually the main player among, and then Thiago Silva,
and Chilwell.
And Chilwell too, and others are just like a new players out of 11 players, including the keeper. All of them are like new players, so I think they are finding it a bit difficult for them to just blend together. And if you watch those guys are playing brilliantly well. And if those guys are not good enough, the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal will not be wrestling to have those players on their side, just like the way Chelsea had them all. But it's just like Chelsea was able to overshadow them, overpower them financially. So that was why we got all those players. But I felt like we have to give them a bit of time to just operate. Like
but do we have the time?
Yeah, the time might not be, because this is Premiership. The time might not be, but in football world, it's not about just like Franz Glenn said the other time that he likes Pep Guardiola. When Pep Guardiola came to Premiership, his first season he really struggled a lot. If you can remember, he struggled a lot his first season. So he took his time to to study the team, study the league, study the players, and know what he wants. Then he goes for what he wants, and that's why you can see him having the result right now. So in case of Chelsea, we have to give them a bit of time. The result might not be for this season. The result might not be now. The result might be like next season. And if it was someone like Klopp, when he came to Premiership too, it took like almost 2 seasons for him to blend and have his own players, and then he was signing big players, not even big players. He was signing normal players like Salah, Firmino, Mane, and co like that. So when he signed them, he gave them chance to operate together, and the result came.
Yeah.
So I felt like we just have to give them a bit of time, let them play together, let them blend together.
Okay.
Before I can start blaming them, I think I can give them a few time, like maybe the next 2 months or 1 month to this time. It's not about the league this time. It's all about the result after the league.
Okay.
To just have good players. And if you watch all those players, all of them are under 25 players.
Yeah.
They are young players, youngsters that have futures. So my team is not going for old senior players that will just come and play one season and run away, or play one season and just die like that. So we bought energy, we bought experience, we bought future. So that's what we actually spend our money on, not the present results.
Sorry, please. I want to recall your attention to your previous statement,
Okay.
so that you'll not counter it. Remember, if you remember the previous edition, when we are talking about
I said
top
Chelsea is
4,
going to leave the league.
yes, you say Chelsea will win the league. You actually picked them the first
Yeah.
in the table.
Yeah,
And now we are saying we should give them time. And it may not be this season. And also remember, during preseason, they were actually doing good.
yeah.
Jackson was scoring goal anyhow. Chelsea, I think you people won all your preseason matches.
Yeah, sure.
And that's when you say that you people have bounced back.
Yeah, we are back.
That you people will finish Premier League this season. That's why you picked them first in your table.
Yeah.
So you giving them time, and you telling me now that they need to blend, they need to come up with that same team spirit. So I don't understand.
Yeah, frankly, to be very frank, I think I have to be very
Honest.
with you. As a football fan, you're not expecting me to pick any other team ahead my team, which is very normal and genuine for any football lover or any fan of any club.
Yeah.
So, and at this point, I stand to be corrected that Chelsea can still lift the league. And I'm telling you the truth.
Okay.
Like I said, the league is still very fresh. It's still very early. We can't just say who is going to win. Look at what happened last season. Arsenal was leading with, I think, 15 points. Or more, I think 18.7.
For most part of the
like
season.
towards the end of the leg, they started doing. They have draw against Southampton, against Liverpool, against I think West Ham or so, and they have lost against one of that against Man City. They lost. So all those things, like it's still very fresh for you to just say, okay, I said something, and what I said is Chelsea is going to win, and because I'm saying that we should give them time to blend. It's still. I feel like it's not really bad if I say Chelsea might still lift the league, like I said earlier, and I'm still saying it again that I'm picking Chelsea ahead of every other team.
Sorry.
Franklin,
No,
please let me just land.
remove Arsenal
Okay.
in that your scenario, because if you use Arsenal as a reference point now, okay, let me ask you, should it be Man City now leading second position with 15 points at any point in the table?
Yeah.
Do you think they can still lose the league?
Frankly, this is football. Anything can happen in football. Let me land. Let me land. We understand the fact that Man City has got the materials at their disposal. We understand that Man City has got
A good coach.
the coach, the players, the money, the fan. They've got everything that can make a team a team. We know Man City have got them at this point. You get,
Yeah.
but this is don't forget anything can happen. Like I said, what happened to Chelsea last year? Nobody was expecting it. Over 8 of their first team players went on injury. It can happen to any team. It can actually happen to anything, and that's the problem Chelsea was battling with throughout last season. We battled it throughout the whole season, and that was what led to Chelsea buying new players, buying young players. Yeah, and if you discover the reason why all those players had an injury was because most of them are old. The likes of Kante, the likes of you can't compare Kante and Caicedo like with energy wise. I'm talking about not experience and not years of playing. But when we're talking about experience and years of playing and everything, Kante has got everything more than Caicedo. But in terms of energy, struggling and operating in the midfield, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So Chelsea actually struggled with a lot of injuries last season, and that was one of the reasons why they ended where they ended last season. So I felt like that was one of the reasons why Chelsea have to go for the young players this season. Okay, let's change our pattern from the old senior players. And if you have looked at Chelsea midfielder right from the days of Michael Ballack, Fabregas, Lampard, Mikel Obi, including Makalele, Kante, they have all of them have been like old senior experienced midfielders. But this time around, I think Chelsea is trying to like have a different kind of, for Chelsea to have sell Djokovic to Man City, Kovacic to Man City. You know that Chelsea is trying to work on something. Kovacic is not wait.
Sorry.
An average person, an average coach that knows the worth of a player will not sell Kovacic.
Yes.
Yeah. So for Chelsea to have sell Kovacic, not because of the fact that we don't need him, but because we try to change our pattern this season.
And sorry to cut you. Still remember, as a good coach, even if you are trying to change your team, still know that you need that experience there.
That's why we have.
You need experienced
that's why we have
players
Thiago Silva in the team.
So that's why
That's why
I
we have
said
Thiago Silva in the team.
only Thiago Silva.
That's why we have Chilwell in the team.
Only Thiago.
That's why we have Chilwell in the team.
No,
That's why we have James in the team.
Okay.
So what do you want to tell me? When we have too strong.
I'm not
and these
saying,
people
I'm
have
not saying
gone
that.
to Champions League several times.
I'm not
These
saying
people have
that
won the
you
league.
sold all your senior players. I'm trying to emphasize on that Kovacic that you mentioned, because if I'm a coach, I will not sell that guy. I will not sell him, even if I'm not using him regularly. I need him to control that midfield. Even if he's not playing, he can contribute.
You are not getting my point. Like I said, we are trying to change a pattern, and when you are trying to change a pattern, you can't go any length to change your pattern. Like I said, and if you see, Chelsea doesn't sell. We didn't only sell Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante. Who else is left? Those are the major midfielder we had. We go as far as selling not even the three of them, live to a shake. So what else do you want Chelsea to do? I think Chelsea is trying to blend at this point. Chelsea is trying to like reshuffle, restructured, the whole team now. And if you look at the whole players, let me say 85% of our players are new players from last season, window transfer market to point. That's when we got most of them.
Okay.
So that's it. So me saying Chelsea will win the league, I haven't
changed your mind.
My word. My word still remain the same.
As Chelsea fan. Like
Not even as Chelsea fan. Okay. Not even as Chelsea fan. The season is still early, bro. Still very fresh. By this time last season, Arsenal was winning everybody, winning Man City, winning everybody. But it got to the end of the league. The end will justify the miss, my brother. So let's wait till the end of the season, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen who are watching us this evening, feel free to let us know which of the football teams you think would win the Premier League season for this current season. Of course, Man City is sitting first position as it stands, and Chelsea, like we were just talking, is currently 12th on the table. Well, as Arsenal is 5th, Tottenham is 2nd, Liverpool 3rd. Teams like Brighton is 6th as it stands. Man U is currently 11th on the table. Even Newcastle is 14th on the table as we speak. So, I mean, things can still reshuffle and things can still change. But which of these teams do you think would end up winning this season? Will it be Man City again, or are we going to have a shocker and a surprise? If you have any of those kind of opinions, let us know which team you think would win the Premier League season for this current season. Let's look at the upcoming fixtures for, not this week, because this week is international break, but for next week, we have some fixtures for the Premier League. Let's look at some of those fixtures. On Saturday, 12:30 would be Wolves at home playing against Liverpool. And then at 3 o'clock would be Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Luton, Man United, Brighton, Tottenham, Sheffield United, West Ham plays Man City, Newcastle, Brentford at 5:30 on Saturday. And then we'll go to Sunday. Sunday we'll have Chelsea away to Bournemouth, 2 o'clock.
If you want to call Chelsea, please put respect.
Okay.
Whatever you like, bro.
All right, so Bournemouth, Chelsea FC. Yeah. 2 o'clock. And then at 4:30 on Sunday, it will be Everton against Arsenal. And then on Monday, Nottingham Forest versus Burnley. I'd like us to pick a few matches out from there. And I would like to be asking our gentlemen, including our audience who are watching us, to make their predictions on these matches. So first on the table would be Wolves at home against Liverpool. What would you say will be the result of that match?
Yeah, if I will not be sentimental, I think Liverpool is going to win the match. But, Wolves' pattern of playing is very, very different, mostly when they are playing big teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Man U. They always come with their full strength and their very and they're energetic when it comes to football. Yeah. So, but despite that, I think Liverpool is technical enough and experienced enough to win that match. So I'm picking Liverpool ahead of Wolves.
Scores?
Oh, I can't really say, but I know it's going to be a go. Like the two teams will definitely have a go. Okay. I don't know who's going to come first, but I'm sure probably 2-1, 3-1
in favor of
Liverpool. Yeah.
Okay. Franklin.
For the match, I will give Liverpool the whole odd because watching Wolves, they are the teams that know how to play big teams. But when it comes to middle team, they can fumble. But seeing their record or their statistics this season, they have played 4 matches, win only 1. They have won only 1. So, and Liverpool, they're actually on their stand. So you will know that I will give Liverpool the winning for the match.
Okay.
So if I'm to give the correct score, I will give Liverpool maximum 2.
2-0.
Yeah, 2.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, from here, we are all saying Liverpool to win. I think I will also go for a Liverpool win, and I would say 3-1 win to Liverpool. That will be my prediction for the match. Okay. We'll move on to Man U Brighton on Saturday, 3 o'clock. Man U will be at home, and Brighton will be away. Predictions?
It doesn't matter who is at home. it doesn't matter who is at home in this match.
It's not only about who is at home or who is away at this junction. Because if you watch Premiership so well now, it's not about who is at home or who is away. Anybody can come to your home and win you and anyhow. But you see, in the game of Brighton and Man U, it's going to be a very difficult match because Brighton is really, really hot. Every one of us know that. Right from last season, this season again. I think they are in about 5th or 6th on the table now. 6th on the table, and they've never lost any match. I think they had 3 wins, 2 draws or so. Or no, 2 wins, 2 draws. So, and Brighton, right from last season, they've been so composed and they've been so composed and settled. So if you watch their kind of ball is a bit more mature than they always call for like the way they play like they are coming to win. And that is why you can see a lot of players coming out from that team. They've got a lot of brilliant players, a lot of brilliant that people don't really know them until now. So they've got those things, and selling for them to have sell most of their best players, they know what they have at bench, and still, despite that, they are still playing very well. And in the case of Man U, Man U is not really bad, but I think they lack the attacking mentality. Because if you watch that match against against Arsenal rather, they play so well from the defense to the midfield. Because Man U, if you watch the match against Arsenal, Man U really played well. Their almighty defender Onana is a very good defender, very good defender. Seeing him at the edge of the box every time, passing over. And I think I asked one of the Man U fan, like, why is Onana doing that? He said that's a pattern they want him to play, and that's why they brought him in. They want to have 13 players or 12 players on the pitch, not even with the keeper. You get, like, they want to have, 11 foot excluding the keeper. So that's why you see Onana coming so forward like that. So despite that, they play so well from the defense and well organized from the defense. Man U and from their midfield as well. But their attack is a bit, concerned, like a bit not too composed and not going for the goal. So in this case, I think it's going to be a very difficult match to predict. But to me, I think I'm going to predict Brighton
to
over
win.
Man U. Yeah, I think I'm going to predict it because they get this kind of winning mentality and like we are going to win. We want to win.
Okay.
For them to have performed so well last season and this season, they are not doing bad at all.
Okay, if you were to say any scores, what would you say?
I'll pick 2-0.
2-0.
Very frank here. I know it's very funny. Yeah, I know it's very, very funny. But I sit down to look at the kind of match Brighton has been playing back, including this season, and I think they are very, very composed. Okay. And I think they know what they are doing. And Man U is a bit destabilized.
Sorry, last season I think Brighton won Man U.
Yeah, home and away.
Yeah.
The two matches.
Yeah. Okay, Brighton, we were talking about how many points they have. They've won 3 matches and lost 1. So they have 9 points as it stands.
10 points.
9. They won 3
matches
and lost 1.
Okay, and lost 1, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a very brilliant result compared to the likes of Man U, who is on number 11 on the league. And I think Man U and their
won 2 and lost 2.
Man U and their brother Chelsea are following each other, bumper to bumper.
You say that you think. Me, I know.
Okay.
I know that Brighton, if Man U are to play what they played against Arsenal, Brighton must surely win them. Because that match, sorry to bring it up. When I was watching the match, somebody came up and said, is it a Arsenal Brighton that is Arsenal Newcastle that is playing? I said, no, it's Man U now. Because the away jersey is
yeah, it
is
looked like
is on.
Newcastle, yeah.
Yeah. So and the way Onana really trend last weekend
Yeah.
because of that is a display. so what they played well. Let me recommend that they played well, but they lack that finishing mentality.
Yeah.
That's their
it.
problem.
Yeah, right.
They lack that finishing mentality.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why Arsenal just cool down and give them what they want. So if they should repeat that same mistake,
They'll keep having the same results.
Brighton, they don't mind having one shot on target, and that would be
That's
go.
it.
If they have two on target, that would be go because they don't like mistake. Anytime they push attack, they want to get that
The
result.
results.
So that's one thing about Brighton.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
like I said, Brighton is a very composed team, a very composed team, and just like he said, to buttress his point, you hardly see Brighton attacking, but the moment they are coming to attack like this, they are coming to score. You can see most of their attacks. If they had 3 shot on target, 2 might be goal out of 3 shot on target. They hardly have shot off target. Like I think they know what they want to do at a particular point when they hold the ball, and it's not like that in the Man U side.
Yeah.
Man U is a kind of team that they always want to get the ball from the front and want to go and score, but that finishing mentality is not there. And in their last match, even not for the goal that Rashford scored, I hardly see him in the match. But that goal brought him out like, okay, I'm still Rashford, I'm here, see me, I'm not dead.
Okay, so we are all going for a Brighton win. I think, Brighton would win the match as well. Even if not for any other reason, for the different issues going on at Manchester United as a football club now, ranging from the issue with Sancho to the issue with Anthony. I think it's playing a toll on them as a football club. Sancho and Anthony as well. There are issues, and with respect to Sancho, he was dropped, and he was saying that he's been a scapegoat in the club for all this while, just that he doesn't want to talk about it, and that the manager is not favoring him, is not giving him opportunity or chance to play for this reason and for that reason, And I heard one of these football pundits saying that Rashford had tagged along with Sancho as we speak, but very discretionally, in a way that nobody could say that they heard Rashford saying it, but he had, had a little chat with Sancho. Yeah, and once you start losing the dressing room as a football manager, it start affecting. It has happened to, great managers like Mourinho, even Guardiola when he was at Bayern Munich and at a point in Barcelona. Once you,
It wanted to happen in Man City.
So once you start losing the dressing room, it start telling on you and on the performance of the team as well. And then again, Anthony on the other side, his girlfriend coming out to say he's abusing him and all of that. And then the Brazilian national team now have
They dropped him.
They dropped him
in the national match that they are meant to have at the weekend, and which is very bad to his career and his personality. And I felt like this have to be handled carefully in the world of football because it's becoming more common now. At the end of the day, if you discover, like, I'm not in support of those kind of verbal abuse or any other thing that is happening, but I think it should be handled with care and with critical investigation. Because in the likes of Mendy, if you see what happened, the lady that accused him of raping and every other thing, the lady who was walking scot-free without nothing happens to him, no sanctioning, no charges,
no
nothing.
fine.
But the guy lose almost 2 years of his career that is trying to fight back now. And so what happened to the other side of it? Nothing happened. So I think if the football organization or the football world can actually look into it, and I know it's constitutional, I know it's depends on the constitution of the country. I know it's constitutional. I know it's all about the laws. But the football world can actually come after it and let them know that okay, good and fine. We are not in support of this. We are not in support of verbal abuse. We are not in support of raping or whatever that happens. But anybody that point an accusing finger on other person and he was found guilty and she was found guilty or the person was not, does not really commit the offense, there should be a penalty to the other part of. I don't know, maybe you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because now it's becoming more common, mostly to our footballers.
They are picking on them a lot now.
And I feel like those girls are doing it because of what they have, because of their way, because of their financial financial stance.
Yeah.
And I think that's why those guys are picking those things on them, which I think is a bit not.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
And-
It's
and
worrisome.
And again, some of them, they are not actually doing it because they want to do it. Some of them, they are being compelled to do it. In the case of Mendy, one of the girls, because is it 7 charges, 7 different charges or so that was levied on him. So one of the girls confessed that he
think he had a party in his house and-
actually did it, but some organization, let me not mention the name, some organization forced her to move on the case, to charge him to court, something like that. And not even only in the world of football. This same thing happened to Al Kelly. All of us know about him. He went to prison.
case is a different one. It's a different one, and I don't want us to talk about that one here because it's a bit complicated. Because
But he's now free.
Alkali is free.
I think he's now free
he's not
because
free, he's still in prison.
I saw news that he has been released. So, but that has happened to a lot of footballers. Like you said, Mendy has been part of it. Even Ronaldo has suffered it as well.
Neymar.
So many footballers have suffered it, and one of the reasons is there is no penalty against the complainants.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Because if there should be any penalty or any charges, that once this case has been investigated and found innocent, the person that complained must be
Penalized.
or held to do something. I think all these charges, all this, because this thing is actually killing people's career.
Not only career, their
It's
life, their
in fact,
future.
it killed Mendy's career. It's only that thank God for Saudi Arabia that picked him up. Had he been, it's not Saudi Arabia, he would have been playing hockey or table tennis by now.
Look at Greenwood
Look at
now.
Greenwood too. Look at Greenwood, the young star.
Greenwood now, the thing has even affected him that even Saudi Arabia itself, they are still.
I think he's in Italy now. He plays in one.
Getafe. He's gone to Getafe.
Getafe is in Turkey or Italy.
Italy.
Yeah. He plays in Italy now.
But Saudi Arabia wanted to sign him, but based on how the thing escalated, they now feel reluctant to sign the guy. Thank God for Getafe that signed him, because this is really costing a lot in the world of football.
Like I said, I'm not in support of verbal abuse. I'm not in support of domestic violence or whatever. And I'm 100% sure that none of us is in support of that as a Christian. But the fact is, there should be a justice. There should be a penalty for the other parts, for the other part of the case. Like you can't just. Even the Bible says a sinner should not go scot-free. So even if I'm a sinner, I should be punished for it. And if you are the one that sinned against me, I feel like I should be punished as well. If not even equal punishment, but at least there should be something that should be done for the other party. And I think with that, those things should be able to be curbed in some extent. Though we know that those guys are actually, to some point, actually misusing their opportunity, misusing their position, misusing their celebrity, misusing their wealth. We know that, but not to every one of them. Not every one of them. Those ones who are not doing it, let them be sanctified. But those ones that are doing it, let them pay for it vividly. Let them pay for it. So I felt like, to me, it's not really too fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So looking at the match between Man United and Brighton, I think Brighton would win that match with a slim margin, maybe a 2-1, 3-2 kind of result. I feel like that match will have many goals, and I think it would be in favor of Brighton. Okay, if you want to call in to have a chat with us right here in the studio, or to make a comment on any of these matches or on the Premier League as it stands so far this season, feel free to call in on this number. The number is 074 174 28537. 074 174 28537. Feel free to call in on that number, and we'll be happy to take your call.
And also, you can come on our YouTube channel. We'll read it out on our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. You can leave your comments if you want to leave your comments on any of the social media platforms from where you are watching us this evening. We'll be happy to read out your comments. Okay, right. Let's look at this other
The number
match.
is display on the.
Okay, yeah, you can see the number right there on the screen. Feel free to call in on that number that you can see right there, and we'll be happy to have a chat with you. Okay, let's look at this other match right now on Sunday. Bournemouth.
Sorry, I would like us to talk about this match as well.
Which one?
Don't let us. This is
Oh,
some
West
match
Ham. West Ham.
West
Yeah,
Ham and Man City.
I skipped that.
It's
Yeah.
actually a big
Okay,
match
yeah,
to
yeah.
talk about.
So West Ham is going to be at home against Man City on Saturday, 3:00.
Yeah.
You know, West Ham at home. West Ham have been doing so well
Brilliantly
so
well.
far this season. That's why they are fourth.
Brilliantly well. Like I said, brilliantly well. For a team like West Ham to have attained where they are present now, for what they achieved last season, you know, it's a very brilliant achievement.
Okay,
Brilliant.
okay.
They don't have 100% record.
Hang on. Let me set
That's why I
let me set the ground for you guys to then talk. All right. So West Ham is going to be at home against Man City on Saturday. Not this week, but next week Saturday, 3:00 on Saturday. What do we think will be the outcome of that match, prediction-wise, gentlemen? Who's winning that match?
I would like the Man City man to go first.
Okay, Franklin.
I want the Man City man to go first. I want to count on your words.
Okay, you cannot expect me to tell you that West Ham will win Man City.
Why can't you tell me that?
As we rightly said earlier, that let's forget about home or away. I will first of all back up my prediction with what I have at hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any loophole, even though I'm lost in one person. But that doesn't mean that I'm counting on that person to win my match.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay. Okay.
Last 2 seasons, he was not there. And Foden was there to replace him. And I don't know Foden can be this good in that position. He played very, very well. In fact, his distribution, his ball control, his passes was so accurate. I thought he would continue it this previous match, but they tried the Alvarez, and he also performed on his own. So I'm not disputing the fact that West Ham, they are good. At least playing 4 matches, winning 3, drawing 1. But against Man City, that would be another 1 lose for them because Man City, they are there to win. And Man City, they have the mentality to win West Ham. They have been winning them. Even last season when they were good, Man City won them. So we're thinking that Man City will now have to lose in this year 100% 100% record.
Yeah.
No, Man City will surely win.
Okay.
Maybe the winning might be yes, it might be slim, but definitely the 3 points will go to Man City.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just to you. That's just to you, but I would like us to look for it from this different perspective. Like, this is West Ham too. People are not picking them to be a big team because they are not a consistent big 4 team, you know. But look at their record from last season, 2 points. Look at their record from even this season. They are part of. I think they are the 3rd or 4th on the table now.
Fourth.
So they are doing brilliantly well. Like I said, you said I shouldn't say brilliantly because they've not kept 100% record. Yeah, this is Premiership, and if you look at Man City has not played any big team so far. So you can't just tell me like Man City and look at West Ham. I think West Ham has played one of those big teams.
They played Chelsea.
Yeah, West Ham actually played Chelsea. They played Chelsea. Has Man City played any big team? No. So don't give that record to Man City for now. Because wait, bro, let you wait. When you are talking, I keep my words. I said I'm going to pick on your words. Okay. So now I give you the access to pick on my words. So let me just land, please. So when Man City has not played any big team so far, West Ham has played a big team. So with that, the 100% record cannot be kept because they played the big teams. And despite that, even against Chelsea, they won. And Man City, they've not played any big team. So you can't say Man City keep 100% record because they've been playing middle grade. Don't let them use that word. Like, they've not played any big team, rather. You get? But Man City, in the case of West Ham, they've played big team. And don't forget that West Ham have been doing so good, doing so well, even this season. So you can't just say you will give the 3 points to Man City because you're a Man City fan. And I know that's why you said that. And to me, I'm going to tell you tonight, I want you to go and write it down. West Ham is going to deal with you guys.
Okay.
Dealing,
results.
Like a big dealing.
What's your prediction?
It's going to be a very shock result. Too.
Okay.
5-0.
They go carry na handicap.
Okay.
Like
The fact,
it might not be.
So-
It might not
sorry.
be. It might not be like.
Give us numbers.
Might not be like a big win. Maybe it might not be like 2-1. Maybe 2-0, 4-0. Maybe just a single goal, and that's the end of the game. It might be just be like 2-1. It might even end up 1-1.
Okay.
It may end up in draw. I know
Okay.
Man City is playing so well. Like it's actually a team you can't just come up and just nullify like that. You get what I mean? But despite that, bro, you can't just nullify. You can't just say, hey, I want to give it to more. No.
Okay. Okay. So for Sherwin, he's saying it's going to be
Either West Ham win or draw.
either West Ham win or
No,
draw.
No, don't put that draw. You said they will win Man City. That's what you said.
I said it's
and
it
you
might
say
end up
you
in
you
1-1.
you write it down.
Yeah,
No problem. No
West Ham
problem.
win or draw.
What happened is maybe you said that they have played a big team, which is Chelsea.
Yeah.
My question is, what if Man City should play Chelsea? Let me say, as Chelsea is now, and as Man City is now, do you think Chelsea can win Man City with that ease?
It's a word of football. Whoever think Liverpool and Chelsea will end up in draw. It's a very simple question. Whoever think Liverpool and Chelsea will end up in draw. And do you think, no, let me ask you one very simple question. Do you think if Man City now and Liverpool now play, do you think Man City now will win Liverpool now?
Coming to Liverpool,
No, just a very simple question, sorry.
is it home? Because
No, you just said something
home.
earlier that
No.
in Premiership now, nothing like home and away again.
No, but Liverpool home. Should I say there is a cost there? There's a cost there because it's always hard for any club to come and win them. But I will still go that Man City will win.
Against Liverpool, right?
Yes.
Okay, because you're a City fan, so I won't argue with
Not
you.
not matter of
That's
the City fan.
Because you're a City
Okay.
fan.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you're a
So
City fan.
so for that match, West Ham against Man City, Sherwin is going for a West Ham win
Or draw.
or draw, and Franklin is saying Man City would win. We'll be alive by God's grace to see it next week, Saturday, as it regards the outcome of that match. Okay, moving on to the next one there. Bournemouth at home against Chelsea. I believe this will be another opportunity for Chelsea to try and step up their game to prove a point to the rest of the world. But
That's a bonanza.
I mean,
What's funny?
No. This match is actually bonanza for Chelsea.
You
At
can't
least
say bonanza
To boost, no. Why I said bonanza is you should understand what I mean. Chelsea playing Bournemouth. Adibin is a team that is more stronger. Then there will be a tug of
We
war.
played Northern Forest and we could not win
Lost.
them.
Northern Forest.
So it's not.
No.
They
Northern
won us
Forest.
1-0. They won Chelsea 1-0.
No, Northern Forest. Don't think they are just small club.
So why do you now think Bournemouth will be a small club?
Because they almost entered the relegation last season. They have not been doing well. Okay, where are they now? They're almost at the relegation zone. They're almost at the relegation zone.
let me see where they are.
So with what they have been doing, that's why I say that.
Oh, Bournemouth is 16th.
Okay, with
Why
what,
Chelsea is
with,
12?
with what?
What's the
No,
difference between 12 and 16?
okay.
This is my team.
No, with what you have signed, at least you still have. I'm still giving you hope. You
You
see,
don't
I
need
will
to-
hope that you will still carry the lead. So I'm
He
still
said he's
boosting your
giving us
hope.
He said he's giving us hope.
I'm boosting your hope now. Like you said, you want to carry the lead. Okay,
Yeah.
it's what you are playing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a Chelsea fan, I will 100% go for Chelsea in my team. 2-4-7, any day, anytime. Even against Man City, I always go for Chelsea. And like I said, Chelsea is playing brilliantly well, very, very well. But the fact is just that they've not blend, like I said earlier. They need a bit of time to blend. And the attacking team, like if you watch our last match against Northern Forest, it was a bit, someone like Jackson had like almost 2 1-on-1. There was even one that I was even jubilating. The keeper was down, the defender was down, only for Jackson to just come himself. He put his head down. I was like, what is this? Just hit the ball. Nobody was there to, Sterling, all of them were just playing like they've got no leg again, But I think the next match against Bournemouth should have been, like you said, like a bonus to Chelsea. So we think we should be. And I felt like if Chelsea can win that match, it can actually give them like a morale, boost their morale, up and, do something. Because we've got all the players that we felt like we need to have. Even for us to have £1 billion pounds, that's a lot. So far in Premiership, history record, straight off. We've got money.
Okay, so
You've got money. And do not forget that the team you are playing don't have. I'm not sure they signed any
They
good
didn't have
player.
they don't have the material Chelsea had.
They have
should
not won
be-
any match this season.
Yeah. I don't
They have
think
not
so.
won any match this
So
season. That's why
it
it's
should,
just.
it should
and,
be,
and
it should
don't
be a
think,
bonus, like you
I
said.
don't think it will boost your spirit because it's not a team that should boost your spirit. If you win those, let me say, if you win Luton now, it's not a team that you.
No. The win against Luton was actually not what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting a big thing against Luton.
So you should categorize all of them at
As
same
one.
level.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Bournemouth has been in league
Okay,
earlier.
but
Luton just came from the relegation team.
Yes, but their performance, it doesn't matter whether they just came or what. Their
matters.
performance, because was it Leicester? They came next season, they carried the league. So it doesn't matter whether they have been there or they are just new. But all of them, they are still on the same ship.
okay. Give us, if you guys can give us numbers. So Bournemouth against Chelsea.
I'm picking 3-1.
3-1.
Chelsea 3, Bournemouth 1.
Okay, 3-1 to Chelsea. Franklin.
I'll just say Chelsea is their chance to at least increase their
Goal
goal. So I will just give them
2-0.
2-0, 3-1.
Okay. All right. Our audience who are watching us, what do you think will be the outcome of that match between Bournemouth and Chelsea? Bournemouth will be at home, but like the gentlemen here have said, no longer should you be considering whether you're at home or not. You know, it's just a game of football. Put the ball on the ground and let's start playing. All right. The next one I would like us to touch on is Everton at home to Arsenal. Arteta will be traveling to one of the clubs he played for, when he was still a footballer. That will be on Sunday at 4:30. What do we think will be the result of that match, gentlemen? Everton, Arsenal.
It's very obvious. Everton is not doing well. So it's I'm giving it up to Arsenal. Probably 3-0. Because Arsenal now their mentality, mostly the match they plays against Man U will actually boost them, boost the morale, boost the mentality, boost the players, boost the coach, boost the fan. So that I feel like Arsenal is going to win with a very wide margin, a minimum of 3-0.
Okay.
The likes of and if you look at the formation they are playing, and like it's just like 4-3-3. You've got the likes of Saka, Jesus, and what's it called?
Martinelli.
No, they actually said Nketiah, Saka, and Martinelli in the first half. Then they brought Jesus in.
Yes.
So the three players are like fast. They have pace. They have the pace. They have the footwork. They have the goal sense, and they've got a lot of experience as well.
Even the midfield.
Even in the midfield self, they had the likes of Declan Rice. Odegaard and Kai Havertz at the midfield, and even Havertz is even a force to the attack as well. If he was against Man U, he was much more in the box than being outside the box. So I think Arsenal is going to win hands down 3-0 to me.
3-0.
Yeah.
Okay, Franklin.
I will say it's another chance for Gabriel Jesus to showcase himself because it should be an easy win for Arsenal because Arsenal at least will give them that. All their players, their new signing, they have been doing their task. They have been up to the expectation. Rice, Arsenal have been eating rice since they signed him, and the rice is a well done rice, not half done rice. So and with Gabriel Jesus' performance after injury is another boost. It's another boost for them because
Mostly the goal he had against Man U is a very
Very fantastic goal.
like
yeah.
it's I call it a Premiership goal.
Goal of
That's
the
good.
season.
I was just like, what is Dalot even thinking? you know that number one, Gabriel Jesus is a right foot player. He's a right foot player, and you know that he is only one-on-one with the keeper and you. Once he moved right, he's free. And you went and slide. That's let me not say it's a selfish attack.
I won't agree with that fact because Dallas is a very good defender. I want us to remember that one. That's 1. 2. He's on one-on-one with the keeper, and when you're one-on-one with the keeper, you can do anything. It's just one-on-one with the keeper is more is as easy as you playing a penalty. And when it comes to penalty, it's all about prediction. The keeper will actually want to predict, okay, maybe he's going to the left or to the right, and that's why you can see a ball going to the right and the keeper going to the left. So that match is a one-on-one, like it's a one-on-one with the keeper. And at that point, the only thing Dallas can do is just for him to just, okay, let me just slide and stay in front of him, and if he's going to hit the ball is going to hit me. He's just he predicted what might happen.
Yes.
But in the likes of Jesus, he wasn't his prediction. Dallas' prediction was different from Jesus. Thinking. It's just like simple as that. So if that thing that happens to Jesus can happen to Akonji, and Dalot can happen to Akonji, can happen to Walker, can happen to any of your defender. Because this is one-on-one.
Yes.
It's one-on-one. You can't actually predict what
I'm
I'm
trying
not
to say.
blaming Dalot at that point.
What I'm trying to say, I know Dalot he's a good player. He's a good defender. But at that point, what I was thinking, okay, you met the ball not on time, but you tried meeting the ball on time. Yeah. What I was thinking, instead of him to slide, you know that the stronger leg of Jesus is right. And if he had blocked the right side, he has only the option of using his left. Meanwhile, Onana is already there on his left foot. So with that, I think had it been he did not slide because as a striker you will not be thinking only one side. You will be thinking this one and thinking this one. So Gabriel Jesus saw that avenue that he want to slide and don't have any option that to
ball back.
Cut the ball, then use his strong foot to finish the ball.
Now let me just explain like what I felt. What I think it's actually happened was like in the likes of Gabriel Jesus, I think like he saw Dalot earlier before that period, that particular time. And don't forget that this is one-on-one. If Dalot made any mistake, it's going to be a red card on him and a penalty again. So that's going to be double lost for Man U. Don't forget that. Even a bit of touch like this, a bit of touch, and Jesus goes down. That's a red card for Dalot because he's the last man. So I think Dalot is just trying to protect that red card, trying to protect the ball at the same time, and try to protect the keeper at the same time. So, man, and I felt like Jesus saw him earlier, like, okay, yeah, I knew you are coming. You get, and know how. To me, if you look at Jesus at that point, he wasn't in a haste to hit the ball. He was waiting for something to happen. Because when he controlled the ball, move it a bit, he should have hit the ball. He was still calculating his leg. Yeah, that was what I'm trying to like. He was not in a rush to hit the ball. And I think like he knew that something is going to happen. And him seeing the sliding, he just makes use of that opportunity and, hit it. And that was a very brilliant score from Jesus, a very brilliant one.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. I mean, our audience who are watching us this evening, we were just talking about the Gabriel Jesus goal against Man United last week, which was, for me, I would tip that as one of the goals of the season.
Yeah, sure.
For this current season. Feel free to, call in and make your comments with respect to the Premier League season so far. Which of the teams have been impressive? Which of the teams have been a shocker negatively for you? Who do you think would win the Premier League season? And as regarding the upcoming matches next weekend, who are you thinking would win their matches? We want to move on to the next item I want us to discuss this evening, which is the men's Ballon d'Or 2023. Ballon d'Or 2023. FIFA have brought out the nominees for that very award. And I would like to quickly read out the names of the persons who are being considered to win the Ballon d'Or for the year 2023. Okay, we have Josko Vardiol. Vardiol is a Manchester City player. Andre Onana, Manchester United. Karim Benzema, Al Ittihad. Jamal Musiala, Bayern Munich. Mohamed Salah, Liverpool. Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal. Randall Kolo Muani, Paris Saint-Germain. Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester City. Bernardo Silva, Manchester City. Vichka Kvaratskhelia, Napoli. Emiliano Martinez, Aston Villa. Ruben Diaz, Manchester City. Nicola Barella, Inter Milan. Erling Haaland, Manchester City. Yassine Bonu, Al Hilal. Martin Odegaard, Arsenal. Julian Alvarez, Man City. Ilkay Gundogan, Barcelona. Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid, Robert Lewandowski, Barcelona, Antoine Griezmann, Atletico Madrid, Lautaro Martinez, Inter Milan, Lionel Messi, Inter Miami, Rodri, Barcelona, Kylian Mbappe, Paris Saint-Germain, Kim Min-jae, Bayern Munich, our own Nigerian Victor Osimhen, Napoli, Luka Modric, Real Madrid, and Harry Kane, who is now in Bayern Munich. So these are the names that have been shortlisted for 2023 Ballon d'Or award. Okay, gentlemen, I mean, I know there are some familiar names on this list and some very new introductions to the list as well, but having seen this list, who are we thinking who would win the Ballon d'Or and why? Let's bear in mind that people like Mbappe went to World Cup final, scored a hat-trick in the final. People like Messi lifted the trophy as a captain in that competition. People like Erling Haaland won a treble. I think we have about 5 to 6 Manchester City players in this list. About 7, yeah? They won a treble, the Premier League, it was the FA Cup, and what else did they win? They made it 3.
They won the Premier League,
Champions League and FA Cup, yeah. So they won a treble last season, So who are we thinking out of all these names on the list who pick the Ballon d'Or for the year 2023 and why?
I would like to let us understand the fact that this list is being, the nominees is being shortlisted based on their performance last season. And if you are going to look at it vividly and critically, we can discover that none of these players can be underestimated. All these players performed extraordinarily last season. We can't, I don't know, but me, I'm looking at it from my own perspective, even from the Napoli aspect of it, those guys actually did so well. All those players on the list, they have been an impact in their teams. Mostly for you to have seen a Man City, 7 Man City players in the list, you should know that Man City has really tried so well last season.
Of course. Yeah.
And but to me, I don't want to use the words obvious, but with analysis, I'll pick Messi to have to win it. Not to win, I feel like Messi is going to win it again based on my only 2 analysis. And if you look at last season so well, the major trophy, everyone on earth, every football, the best achievement you can have is to win a World Cup, which Messi won last season. Not that he only win the World Cup. He has been a major contributor to his team. And let me explain one thing that maybe we don't know it, or maybe we know it. Let me explain one thing to you. Messi is the first and the only player that's scored in the whole group stage, round of 16, semi-final, quarter-final, and the final stage. No player has ever done that.
Yeah.
He played 7 matches, 7 goals, and 3 assists in World Cup. That's a very brilliant record. A very, very brilliant record. A very, very brilliant record. And in his team, in League 1, French League, he actually won. And I think he came out, I think, 3rd goal scorer and the highest assist. You get? So to me, I felt like with World Cup record alone and with Messi personality, I think Messi deserved it better. Though to me, if you look at Alan as well, Alan has been a goal scoring machine that we can never underestimate in this Ballon d'Or. For someone like Alan to come from Dortmund to Man City, and without in a twinkle of an eye, turn himself to gunshots.
He didn't need time, yeah.
And don't forget that Alan in UEFA Champions League is a high goal scorer. In Premiership, is a high goal scorer. FA, a high goal scorer. What are we talking about? But to me, he also wins Champions League, win FA, win Premier League. But to me, I think World Cup supersedes every other leagues or competition in the whole world. So with that, I felt like Messi deserved it more because of the World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah, because of his contribution at the World Cup. Not because he won. Because if we are talking about the winning of the World Cup, not only him win the World Cup. It's a team. You get, it's a team. You get, but because of his contribution at the World Cup, 7 goals, 7 matches, 7 goals, 3 assists. Even scored in the final, scored in semi-final, scored in every bit of their matches. He scored. And also, don't forget, Messi, among few players in Argentina, played from the 0 minute to the last minute in the World Cup. No injury. He played every bit of the minute in the World Cup. So I think it's a big record for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Seun is going for Messi to win the Ballon d'Or 2023. You who is watching us,
Not because I like Messi or Messi fans. You start saying,
you who is watching us, who are you going for to win the Ballon d'Or for the year 2023? So Seun has gone for Messi. Franklin, who are you going for?
Obviously, like you said, that Messi contributed much to the World Cup, and winning the World Cup is a very big advantage for him. So, and also we should also consider the criteria, the necessary things to be considered in this Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
So, because if it's only World Cup, there are so many players that should not be there.
no, I never said the World Cup. I said
No,
one of the
yes,
major.
I know.
Because he actually win the league.
Because should I say, since last decade and this decade, 2 decades now, how many World Cup has been played? We have played several World Cups, and so many countries have been winning it. But let's not neglect this treble. It's only one team that has done it, which is Man United. It's only one team that have done that treble, because even though they did it, Man City did it in a style by winning the Super Cup, because Man U, they never won the Super Cup after the treble. They lost to the Super Cup, but Man City won the Super Cup, so they have topped that record. And there's one clip that I watch. Ronaldo being interviewed, can he trade his Champions League medal to World Cup medal, to show how vital that World Cup is? But I would say, if I'm to check contributions several players have made individually and as a team, I'm not saying, because you say, because I'm a Man City fan, Haaland, he broke so many records. He won so many awards.
Not up to Messi record.
You mean for last
season?
Okay, are we talking about last season?
Yeah.
We are
Even
talking about last season.
Even as a last season, the one I just make the body about the World Cup fat is another. Don't forget that Messi also win a treble as well, because not only the because you are talking about treble as if Alan is the only one that won the treble now.
No.
Now Messi also win World Cup, League One, and one other cup from the French league. Just like the way we played the FA in Premiership, they have the one they play as well. They won it PSG, so he also has a treble as well.
World Cup we are talking is World Cup
Italia.
for as a club, not including a country. World Cup, the treble we are talking is treble as a club.
And don't forget, these are individual achievements.
Yes, that one is.
So there's no way you want to talk about individual achievement without
it's,
talking about this club.
I know it's individual achievement,
Yeah.
but the treble we are talking right now is the treble as a club, as a team, not as a national team. Because okay, you say that Messi broke so many records more than Haaland. Do not forget, Haaland was the young player of the season. He was the premier player of the season. He was the highest goal scorer. He was the UEFA men's player of the season. He was the young player of the season. He won so many, more than 10 records last season.
Do you want me to be counting the one for Messi for you? Because I'm checking it now.
No,
FIFA World Cup golden ball.
Wait.
I want to start counting it for you.
No, before you start counting,
Yeah.
count their weights, because you cannot compare something. Okay, like you cannot compare the medal Ronaldo is winning in Saudi Arabia to Premier League. You cannot compare the weights between the two sides.
Okay.
So for him to come to a new club, like you said that your players, they need time to adjust. He never wanted that time. He just came and started kicking and started doing exactly what he was signed for. So for him to, because when he was signed, so many people criticized him. So many people were like, he made the wrong choice of his career. They say so many things about him. He never replied. Only place he replied was on the pitch. So, as a young player like that, maybe we can say because Messi, he has been there, and maybe Haaland, he's not that technical. He's not that like, you know what I mean, technical player. Someone like Neymar or Mbappe who can come and start making you to enjoy his type of play. But he always delivers. He has so many medals on his name. As a team, as individual, he won so many things. So without him in that Champions League, he contributed a lot in the Champions League. He contributed a lot in the FA.
Okay.
But
He
sorry,
contributed a lot in the Premier League.
Let me just ask this very simple question, and I want you to look at it from the perspective of not being a Man City fan. Do you believe that with or without Alan last season, Man City might or will or could win the league? I mean the trebles.
Was it last 2 seasons they played through without a striker,
Yeah, and they won the league.
and they won the league. And
But they didn't win a treble. They
sorry?
didn't win a treble.
Yes, they didn't win that treble.
I'm better.
No, not that you are better.
No, let's
It was
continue.
actually a
Let's
mistake.
continue.
It was actually our
A mistake. 90 minute mistake.
that caused it. It
I'm
was
technically
no,
better in that match.
sorry.
Okay,
Let's
let's
continue because
Yeah, yeah.
because if you are to go that side, we will talk more on that side.
I'm tactically
Becau-
better in that match. I don't want to
Okay.
talk about it as well.
Okay,
let's
but
continue.
don't forget that Man City has been predicted to win that. Sorry, to win that Premier League.
Because you
to
just
win
won the
that
FA
Champions-
some days before then. Because you won the FA some days before then.
No,
That was it.
no.
Not because you are better.
Understand what I'm saying? It's not because if you are to count that, we played more matches, and we after playing a tedious match last week, we still have to prepare for another match. The
Yeah,
next
whose fault is
weekend.
that?
Huh?
Whose fault is that?
It's not a fault.
Yeah, so why are you
I'm
now
trying to
blaming?
tell you, if Adibin we lost the match, we can target that it's a fatigue or we are tired, but don't forget that over how many seasons past now, Man City has been predicted to win the Champions League, which they have not. So Haaland, they would have done it without Haaland, but you know what is, you can cook soup without some spices, but if the spices are there, it will still enhance the taste and the aroma of the food. That's the Haaland there.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So Sean is going for Messi to win the Ballon d'Or for 2023, and Franklin is going for Erling Haaland to
Sorry,
win.
he has not even answered my question.
Okay.
You said without Alan, you agree that you might win the league, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
no,
said
good. Now, did you want to? Now, let me ask you the last question. Without Messi, do you think Argentina will have win the league, the World Cup?
like you said, this is world of football.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Individual contribution matters in this match.
Anything can
Because
happen.
if you watch, like I said, I analyzed to you and I go and confirm with facts. Messi has scored in the whole stages of the competition. He had 7 goals. The total goals Argentina had in that competition was just 15. Take 7 out of 15. 8 left. So the remaining 10 players on the pitch, including their sub, scored just 8 goals. While an individual person scored 7 goals,
Okay.
including assist.
Okay.
My brother Messi is see-
Okay. Coming to that.
And see, I never dispute the fact that Alan is good.
No.
But in the Ballon d'Or, this coming one, Messi deserves it better than
Coming
Alan.
to that, let me throw the question back to you. Do you think without Haaland, Messi would have won that Champions League?
Definitely, I believe.
Okay, you believe.
Yeah.
Why haven't they won it all this while? And don't forget that Haaland is the highest goal scorer, meaning Haaland contributed to them winning all their single matches.
But he never scored in the final.
It's not. Is that one? That one is not. It's not just.
Messi scored in the
it's not
World Cup final.
He scored, but it was luck. Let me say it was luck on them that they
So the
lost.
same thing that happened, he doesn't score. Alan doesn't score in the World Cup, in the Champions League final, but Messi scored in the World Cup final. Despite the hat trick from
counting
Mbappe.
counting on finals. Okay, that means should we say that Gundogan was there because he scored in the FA Cup final?
Yeah.
That one, no. That one is not the main thing to count on. He has been doing it. Okay, maybe had it been okay. Let me say, for example, someone has been scoring consistently on every matches, and failed to score on one match, you will now criticize him over that one match he did not score. It's not done.
Okay.
He has been there. He has been scoring for Man City. That's why he was the top highest goal scorer in the Champions League.
Okay. Let's just hold it there. I think this, this will be is a very good point to draw the curtain on the show this evening. But just before we go, I felt to recap on the things we've discussed this evening. So we've looked at the Premier League, we've looked at the teams and how well they've been doing this season. We've looked at teams like Man City, teams like Chelsea, teams like Arsenal, teams like Brighton and Newcastle and Tottenham and Liverpool. We'll come to that in our next edition. Okay, and we've considered as well the upcoming matches, and we've also looked at the Ballon d'Or and who we think would be winning that prestigious award. And just before we go, some of the persons here, my co-hosts this evening, they've touched on that issue, the scandal going on in the world of football, and the way people are taking advantage of these young guys who are playing football, trying to work on their talents and use it to, benefit themselves, their families, and their generation. But now people are taking advantage of them. It looks like that, and bringing their legs out legally and taking them to court, and making it look like they are all terrible people. People like Mason Greenwood now, his football career has just gone downhill. People like Mendy, people like Anthony now, and who is the other one we're also talking about? Sancho. All these issues, scandals all over the place. I think the world of football need to, come together and put some structures in place. I think it's a unified voice from this table this evening that the world of football need to come together and put a structure in place that would help to address that issue so that it doesn't keep going on and on and on and on like that. And very, very, very many people, their football career is just going down the drain. And we don't think it's the best thing to happen to, these people. Someone like Mason Greenwood, for example, was someone I was looking forward to, help teams like Manchester United and the national team of England as well, a great deal. But now things have twisted, and we don't think that's going to happen anymore for him. But this is where we'd like to draw the curtain this evening. Thank you for being a part of the show. Wherever you watched us from, we are so happy and glad that you made our time to be a part of the show this evening. And from Sheun and from Franklin, this is every one of us saying
thank you.
Thank you and good night. See you next time. God bless.